Hi, how are you doing? Hope you are well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day. I've been playing around with some oil paintbrushes, not ones I made, but by somebody called Ittai Manero. And these are available on Gumroad. This is the painting I've done with them. There's over 40 brushes to look at. Do I like them? Am I happy with the result of this? Let's get straight into the video. Find out what I thought about this set of brushes. So I bought these thick paint brushes off Ittai Manero off Gumroad. I got them for free. He is asking, I think, for $18. I'm not sure if that is like a minimum price or if you can put in what you want. I haven't tried them yet. There's no affiliate thing going off here. I'm not being paid to do this. He did email me and say, Steve, would you have a look at these brushes for me I've made using thick paint? So I've purchased them for free. That's the only benefit I'm getting from this. I bought them through the website on my PC, or purchase them for free on the website, but I'm going to download them on the app. So I switched over to my iPad, and from this point on I screwed the audio up. So I've got all the video but no audio, so I'm going to have to dub the audio on after. So I opened up the Gumroad app to download the drawing pack straight into Procreate. So I installed the Gumroad app first, and there you can see that is the collection that you get when you make this purchase from I think its name's Ittai, and there's several things to download. There are the thick paint oil brushes, which you can see I just clicked on there. There's the paint brushes, and if I click on them, first of all it download them to your iPad, and then you can click on them again and say where you want to open them, and if you open them in Procreate, the brushes appear like magic. So there you go, I'm doing that now. Look, I'm going to tap on that, open up Procreate, and boom, the brushes appear just like magic. We need to open up a painting, so I've opened up one I did a while ago as an illustration on how to use models in your photos. But there you can see right at the top, thick paint, and there's 40 brushes in there. So that's how you get the brushes into Procreate. Also included in the pack is this reference image, which shows you how to set up the layers to do your painting. So I think I'm going to, what I do here, I show you that it just imports it in as an image, so you can open that up, and you load it in the same way, you know, through the Gumroad app. You just click on the file and it opens this up. And oh, there's my little like and subscribe man. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and all that stuff helps out a lot. So you can see I've got the brushes loaded in, but what I want to look at is the layers. So you can see there we've got 4 layers which are all required to be used within this pack. So when you set them up, you have to import each of these, well, 3 of the layers. One of them is your painting layer, so obviously that's where your painting is going to be, but the bottom one is the base layer, and you can see there, look, you get this sort of texture that looks like you've applied plaster roughly to the look at my hand telling you the story to the canvas, and then put a coat of paint over that, and maybe the plaster wasn't quite dry and it's sissed a bit and the paint's rolled away, so you get that going off. Then you've got your painting layer which you do your painting on. There's a very nice painting there, some flowers, but it seems to me that it destroys that texture underneath. You totally lose it it disappeared. So I wasn't really quite sure why there was so much effort gone into getting that textured layer. You could paint in multiply mode or overlay load or something like that, I suppose. Then you have the oil texture layer, which is set to overlay, so you must set that mode to overlay. There we go, I'm pointing that out there. And again, looking at it, you don't really see a lot. It's very subtle, but you do get, see, you can see now, look, you can see the textures just under my wrist where the watch strap is. You can see some textures going off there, and then the canvas board texture is something that you can go with as well. So that's how you need to set the whole thing up before you start painting. So that is the reference image that comes with the pack. So the first thing we need to do is set up our file to paint on. So I created a canvas 24 inches by 16, I think, something like that. It might, no, 16 by 20 by 300 dpi. So it's a big image. So I was really pushing these brushes through the mill. The first thing I do is switch on reference and load up the image that I am going to use for my source for the painting. And there we are. That's a little scene from where Special K and I have been at the weekend. We went to Norwich to visit Kerry's son, and we had a little walk around the market. It did rain a little bit, we did get a bit wet, but a really nice market. So I took that photo, and I've got that in as the reference image. That's what I'm going to be painting. So bearing that in mind, I need to think about what sort of canvas. I was scratching the screen there, must have been a bit of dirt on it. Decide what of the base materials I'm going to use, and so on and so forth, to use with this video. So let's get them open. So begin by creating a new layer, and then go to your little spanner icon and select insert a file. You then need to navigate to where you downloaded the files to, and you will get some zip files, and I've already unzipped them. There's 3 oil color bases, and there we go, in, and lots of different colors to choose from. I think I went for the pink one in the end. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I've chosen the pink one. There we go. Yeah, and that imports that, and that becomes your base layer. You need to resize it to fit the canvas, obviously. You can see me rotating it there and just positioning it on the canvas. There we go, nicely done. And then at that point, I think I zoomed in because I wanted to make sure that the detail was good enough to work on, because I got a big canvas and I was wondering if it was going to be a bit pixelated, and it wasn't. It was fine. So that's the first hurdle over. These are nice iRes images to use. So you can see me now creating a new layer. So well, first of all, I'm going to rename that one, and I call it base. Then I go in, and I should have locked that as well, but I will do in a little while. I go in and import the second one. So go back to my insert file, navigate back to the folder with all of the subfolders in. Then I'm going to bring in the oil texture sheets. I went back there just to check that the name isn't referenced in these oil texture sheets, and it's not. So you can choose any one you like. Well, in my demo I did, and I went for the second one. I like that one because you could actually see a little bit of texture in it in the thumbnail, and some of the others you didn't. So I went for that and imported that in. Resized it up. You can see me resizing that one there, and you can see that gives you sort of lots of brush marks as though they've all been sort of painted on with a decorator's house brush. but you need to change the blend mode. So you can see me now going over there, choosing the blend mode and looking for overlay. There we go. So that's that one done. And then I go in and import the others, just the same. I rename the layers and I import the third one, but the third one I set the blend mode to multiply. Finally it's time to look at the brushes. We've got 40 brushes to use, and I use 40 brushes in this painting. I go through every single one. I'll probably end up speeding it up just a little bit in places, and I start off using the very first one, which is a kind of a sort of a drawing brush, really. And you can see I've selected for the canvas type a wood, and it's showing, it's like an artboard, and it's showing red, and it's tinting the canvas board texture. It's tinting the colour of the paint, but I feel like I should be painting with that canvas texture on, so I wasn't happy with that canvas texture. So getting away from the brushes just for a second, I thought, right, that's not working for me. I need to go in and sort that out. So I actually changed that canvas board. I've sort of persevered with it for a few minutes, as you can see now, and I'm thinking, I don't like it. So I changed it. So I go back in, or I go out and swap out the artboard canvas for this nice white canvas, or hardwood artboard board, I suppose. I didn't like the redwoods. Sorry, they weren't working for me. So I just re-imported this lot, set the blend mode to multiply. I assume it should, it's just dawned on me that I've set that to multiply, and it's white. It was basically white, so maybe I could have set the blend mode to something else, like screen or something. I don't know, but I set it up like the original one, and that's what I went with. At that point I had to lock. You can see me locking the layers because I went in and painted on the wrong one. And now I'm happy because the colour that I'm putting on is very similar to what it looks like on the palette. So I've gone in with that fine oil sketch, and it was a pretty unimpressive brush in as much that it's sort of pretty generic. But bear with me because there's a lot of brushes which are a lot cooler than that, and I quickly wanted to try something different, so I go into the second one, and I'm not going to name all of these brushes. You can see I just go through them, pick them out in turn, and test them all out. I'm just sort of getting the feel for the strokes at this point before I actually start painting. I then go into I start looking at the palette knives and thinking, it might be nice to use some of the palette knives. I didn't once, because I used all 40 brushes. I just used them once for pretty much just to do a little bit of the painting, and then moved on to the next brush. So it's kind of a weird painting in as much that there's lots of different types of brush strokes all over it, and I did lots of painting out, especially on the trees where I like one brush. But look at the textures on that brush. That is really, really nice. And I remember saying in the original audio, I forgot how good Procreate is. I should be using that much more often, and I think I might do some more videos using Procreate. Look at that brush. That would be one of my, having now in hindsight looked at all 40 of the brushes, I really like that one. That one would look the palette knife. It's a really nice brush, and I would have used that more And look at the texture. Look at the texture behind the painting as well. That looks great. I do like that. So when I was asked to do this video, I said, yeah, I'll do it, but I will give an honest review. You know, if I'll say what I think. And he said, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just glad that you're doing that. So this is what I really felt about the brushes. You know, there's no incentive for me to like them, especially as I'm selling my own or giving my own brushes away as well. You know, but I do like them. I did like them. I can say that now because I've tested all 40 brushes out, and they are absolutely first class. I was a bit disappointed because it says thick paint. I was expecting like a thick paintbrush like you would get in Artrage or something like that, Art Set Pro or something like that. So there's no actual real brushes like that give you the thick paint. It's all done with these textures in the background and in the foreground, which is a really clever idea actually. I'm surprised I've not thought of something like that. But I'm thinking, you know what, you could totally adapt this idea and put them into Rebel. You could set it up in Rebel. You could set it up in Critter. You could set it up in Artrage, and then use your thick paints as well. That would be quite cool. So lots of scope for these. And I was thinking, you know, you could actually paint these textured backgrounds in Critter. If you was using Critter, you could paint these textured backgrounds in Critter to give you that effect. But that's not what it's all about today. Today is all about testing out these brushes. So I am going to press on. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit because it's moving fairly slow, and I took a long time just messing about dabbling colours. So let's just whiz it forward a little bit. So I've been through nearly all the brushes at this point. I've just got a few texture brushes left, so I just thought I'd come back in and show you these. And I had a lot of fun just using these and applying little bits of sort of grungy texture or sort of sweeping brush strokes and splashes and things. And I like to pump up the size of all of the these brushes to max. So I sort of pushed them up to like 100% and went through them all. You'll see me put the slide up. There we go. And they added so much. Look at that. There, I just put in one texture and it added a cloud shape for me. I thought, yeah, I really like that. And this was just sort of the final touches using these grungy splashes of paint to add texture. And you'll notice the figures in the painting and everything, I've kept the detail right to an absolute minimum because I just love the textures of these brushes so much. I felt that I didn't want to be painting detail with them, although you certainly could. I was pondering there whether I like that mark or not. In the end, I decided that it was a little bit too much, and I took it out. But I think you'll see me sort of tapping with 2 fingers and 3 fingers to keep looking at it, and there we go. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if I like that, so I decided I didn't. Moving on to the next one, and you can see me going through all of these textures, just adding the final touches to this painting. Oh, and everything was painted on just one layer. I didn't make multiple layers at all. When I was painting this, I didn't find any brushes that were like designed to blend your oil paints or anything like that, and they just sort of overlaid each other rather than sort of blended together. So there's that to bear in mind. You can see I'm just sort of adding a little bit of look at that, a little bit of sunlight hitting the trees and reflecting on the roof of the market stalls. I like that. So that is the finished painting. Let me just go back and show you a little bit about let's go back and look at how you can get these brushes. This is the gentleman Ittai Manero, created these really awesome oil brushes. This is where you can get them on Gumroad. I will put a link in the description below, as well as the brushes. You get a lot of video tutorials in the pack as well, written notes explaining how to use them, I guess, because I haven't even looked. I just got straight into just using the brushes. If you want to support him further, you can nip over to his website. Here he is, Ittai Manero. He hasn't got that many videos yet. He's been on YouTube a long while. 13 years was when he put his first video up, but I think he's just recently got back into it properly. So he's got quite a few videos in Procreate to have a look at. Say hello to him. Say hello for me, please. That'd be nice as well. And subscribe if you like him. And just getting back to the painting. So that's the finished painting using these really nice oil brushes. I do encourage you to give them a go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm just going to sign the painting now. If you have enjoyed the video, thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos all about digital painting in a traditional style, and they're coming out one a week at the minute, and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye.